my God. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me.
Run for it, Marty!
Hey YouTube, PhatPastor here. Tonight is Stream Bros, and we have Mr. Skip Atreides with us. How you going, brother?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. We will see who pops on the stream here. We did not have last week's. There was a lot going on in the family. I had a elderly member of the family take a serious fall, and it was very serious there for a little while. Thank God it wasn't life threatening, but we didn't know that for a while. So that took place Tuesday morning, real early, and I didn't get back from the ER until late that night. And then Wednesday was my wife's birthday, and I streamed for a little while Thursday, and Saturday was my birthday. So it was a busy week last week, but there's a lot that I want to talk about, and I know that there's a lot that Skip has to talk about, and I believe that we are expecting Z King to make it in here in just a little bit. So, all right.
Oh yeah.
Skip is building as usual. I think Skip builds in his sleep. So,
Good.
I bet 533 wished that you wouldn't build in your sleep,
Right.
don't they?
Yeah.
It's like we could get more production out of him.
Oh, 533 at work and in my sleep, everybody else.
Right.
Scott Davis.
Hey Scott, how's it going, buddy? Hey Marty, I'm still alive. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Phil says he's watching from the road. So, all right, we're starting to get people to pile in here. The Tuesday nights are still kind of new for us, so we're waiting for some of the regulars to start popping in. But here we come. Yeah. Happy late birthday, Marty.
J on E Loco 619.
Thank you, June.
Happy late birthday, Marty.
Yeah, and see if you'll put exclamation point, space, and then whatever you want to say like that, Jarvis will read your message also. So thank you, June. It was the big 5-1 this year. So
Over the hill.
I'm over it. I'm over it.
Also,
I'm on the other side.
Happy late birthday to the wife.
Yes.
You are 10 years older than I am.
Yeah. Thank you. 10 years. Wow. And June remembered that from the stream last week that Wednesday was my wife's 50th. I'm only 362 days older than my wife. So for 3 days, we were both 50. And for those 3 days, I can talk to her. I can say, how does it feel to be as old as me? Just for 3 days. And then it's over.
Hey, at least you still have color to your beard, brother.
It's going away. It's going away. But,
well,
hey.
It's gone for me.
Yeah. Well, this is the part I'm worried about right here.
Yeah.
That's slipping away, and I think it's coming out my back and my ears.
We had all their hair, so.
Yeah. In my ears. I recently had to be able to hear certain people at church during Bible study. I got some relatively inexpensive listening aids. I won't call them hearing aids because they're not quite. They're just room amplifiers, but yeah.
You are 50% older than me.
50% older than you. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. It's better than being 100% older than you. So, you know, so I would take it.
I am 2/3 your age.
If you're 2/3 my age, how does that make me 50% older? I don't know. Don't get me confused on the math now. Today is not. I'm usually good at math, but today's just not a day for that. Uh, I'd already bought these, but from the recommendation of my buddy right over here, in a 65
Oh, yeah.
millimeter with overpowered motors. I flew this the other day, and it's laying out here to be storage charged just because of that. So, yeah,
Virginia Slims.
Virginia Slims, that's what he calls them. If y'all remember, you know, back in the day, I don't know about y'all, but
Bent
when,
props.
when
Johnny
I,
Scars.
how's it going,
Good
Johnny?
evening, gentlemen.
How's it going, Bent Props? That's the bit. Bent Prop says, "Oh, look at Skip.
Z
That's
King
the
FPV.
best builder on the planet." That's what he said, Skip.
Oh yeah, who said that?
Bent
Bent
Props. Yep.
Oh,
Now
nice.
see, tell me if you were raised in this generation also, Skip. I was. When I was like 10, 11, my mom would send me to the store to buy her cigarettes. And
I remember they used to be on the aisle.
yeah, back in the day, there's a store down below where I live. Back in the day, here was your regular cigarettes, and here was, they had 100s, and then they had Virginia Slims, which was on a totally different level, than 100s or whatever. So Z King's here, said he'll be on shortly. Scott says he's got me by 20 years. Well, brother, I guess that's good. That's why, my father-in-law was the one that fell and hurt himself. Y'all don't know him, and I'm not going to say his name. But the people watching that do know him, he had turned 79 2 or 3 days before that. And,
Oh wow.
And my wife told him when she realized he was okay, she's like, "Daddy, and she included me and her in that, we are getting too old for this."
Oh,
I guess Skip's doing a giveaway. He got money up there for all of us to look at.
You
Is that
still
your
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still hear me.
Yeah. Is that the $5 that you won in that race? Can you hear me? I could hear you. I don't know about now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you.
Good deal.
Yeah, is that the $5 you won in the race?
It absolutely is.
Okay, I didn't know if you was doing a giveaway or what. So
No,
Zach says he'll be on shortly.
I had it on the wrong side of the screen there. I'm
Oh.
trying to set up my computer here so everything where it got light in my face instead of on the side of my face, so I'm not like half a face.
Yeah. So you're not like
There we go.
you're not the Phantom of the Opera. And
Right.
all right.
Now you can see all my junk on my desk here.
I need to adjust my camera a little bit here. I had to update my. There we go. Oh,
Well, I
that'll
shared
work.
this stream around, and hopefully,
Yeah.
Tyler is a really good spec racer.
Who's that?
Bent Props. Bent
Bent-
Props is a really good spec racer.
Yeah, you were telling me that the other night. That when it comes to spec, this guy really got his
Yeah.
props straightened out. Huh.
Yeah. I tried my best to catch up with him on a couple of drones, and he's getting really good.
How is Skip's audio, everybody? Philiblaster says he loves seeing your junk.
Love seeing Skip's junk.
Oh yeah, you like seeing all my junk on my table? Well, I am good at just piling everything on there and putting something together. I can make a drone out of nothing.
Yeah. I did something last night that I just about regretted. I don't know if you guys can tell, but back behind me, these are the 1 foot by 1 foot clear container things that you get from Walmart. They're like dorm dressers. They're just a little. And behind me is the bigger ones that are wider. And I have got some in.
Bitterroot FPV.
I've got some in my closet here. Between those and I have some of these that you guys can't see. They are actually right underneath my monitors. And these are, I think they make them for makeup. You can get them and they stack really good. Not counting these. I have 48 different bins. Some of them are like 6 to 8 inches or 8.5 by 11 on the inside. And 48 of them. So, and over the years, I just started throwing stuff, especially a lot of 5-inch stuff that I bought and just really got out of. So I have, before we get into the prop row stuff, I have already a big size tote like this, full of giveaways. This my channel just passed 5,000 subs. There's going to be full complete drone giveaways. We're not starting it tonight. Let me read my notes here. There's 5 different types of giveaways that's going to be happening on this channel here within the next within the next month. Probably starting Thursday. There'll be subscriber giveaways. That will just be a video that I put on the channel. I've got a little Amazon brushed shark quad thing that's got a TinyWhoop, a radio, and kid goggles, and a charger. Everything you need to get a kid or somebody flying FPV. I think it's angle only, but that's right over there in a box. Never been open. It has been open. I flew it once. I know it flies. That's going to be a giveaway. There's going to be, I'm not going to tell everything. There's going to be another bind and fly, ready to fly kit that has the drone, radio, goggles, batteries, everything. But one is going to be a subscriber giveaway, which will be just a video on the channel that you got to leave your name and open your subscribers. One of the things I want to say in this, I'll say it on this live stream, and I'll say it tomorrow, and I'll say it on that stream. Members, if you are a member of the channel, I've got quite a few friends and quite a few people that watch my channel afterwards that are still in law enforcement. And most of you may not realize it, but there's some restrictions according to certain departments on how much they can do online, as far as how much of a presence they can have online. I've got family that's in teaching and education, and there's so much that they can do. I know that many officers and teachers do not share their subscriber list, and most giveaways require you to, and I will require people that, do the little phrase or whatever. When I go in to check if their subscriber list is not on, then I go to another person, unless you're a member. If you're a member, then I know you're a subscriber. You can't be a member of the channel without being a subscriber. So there's going to be live stream giveaways that happen. I'll just pull up something. I'll pull up a quad There's going to be quads. This is an example. This is not something I'll just grab a quad and I'll be like, okay, we're going to start in the
Are
giveaway.
you doing a randomizer, or how you doing that?
Well, there's going to be several ways. There's 5, as you see my little list here. There's 5 different ways that I'm going to be doing giveaways.
Okay.
Randomizer,
And you don't have to,
and
you're just giving them away. You don't have to be. You don't have to pay for anything. But
no,
you got members too,
no,
right?
right, and
Raymond Correa.
right, and like this one, it might be where you have to type something in the chat, and that's where members get 2 to 3 times the tickets. Members of the channel, subscribers, everybody, all you got to do is you don't even have to be a subscriber. You just be here live. And how does one become a member? I'm asking early. You are a member, Scott. You've done it. If you'll see right here, scrolling is your name. You'll see your name come up. This is the member list on the channel. You go down in the description below, and it's like join. You can see it down there in the thing below. So members get early access to stuff, and I'll show you this here on. I don't know if you can see it. When you click on the stuff, there's like join right there. I don't know if you guys can read that or not, but right there it says join. You click that and it'll tell you how to do it. And but yeah, with this it'll be like put, you know, exclamation point, Skip's a great builder, and it'll do that, and everybody that does that will get a ticket, and then I'll tell it to draw. And you know, that's, you have to be live for that. You got to be watching. There's going to be members giveaway. That's for, it'll be on Discord, in the members link in Discord. I will show something on the members link, and I will send a little members video out that only members get, telling them to go onto the Discord and put their name down, and then I will do a randomizer probably on the live stream. I'll take the list of those names and put it in a randomizer, and that, members, that's at least going to be a flyable quad, possibly even a set of goggles, something.
How you
And
become a member, Pastor?
you put down there in the description below. You can hit more and look at it, and it says join. You can join for as little as $2 a month. You can only join for 1 month. This is the next 30 days. You want to be a member, and you know, you don't have to reoccur. But there's another kind of giveaway that I'm going to do. It's called the Builders giveaway, and of course I'm just going to put that. It'll probably be on a live stream, and it will be, you know, anybody can win it. And if you live in the continental 48 states, I will pay for shipping up to $30, $35, $38, something like that. Anything more than that, you'll have to help me with it. And if you want it insured, you'll definitely have to help me with it. But I'm going to be doing a builders giveaway. There's a few things that I've got all the parts to build it, but I have no interest in building it anymore, and I'm going to give away everything that goes with it to a builder. And then 5th, there will be a racers giveaway. It will be a racer of some type. You know, it might be a Peanut, it might be a Tiny Trainer. I don't know. It just depends on how things are going. And then after that, if things go like I have planned, a big shout out to the quad artist, Patrick. Thank you. I do have plans to go to a friend's house of mine and pick up a box full of stuff. And also in between all of those, I'm going to put together some bags. I got a lot of 5-inch props. I've got some motors that I was always, when I would build Skip, I learned that if I ever built a quad and I only bought 4 motors, I'd have a motor go out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was just how it went with me. But if I ever, when I was buying parts, when I ordered 5 motors, just in case one went out or one went bad, I only needed it one time. That only happened to me one time. And I'm going to say it, there's nothing against them. I've built a lot. I think I've built over 6 tiny trainers. And the last tiny trainer that I built, I bought 5 motors. I bought the 4-pack and I bought an extra one. And one of the motors out of the 4-pack was bad.
Oh,
And
really?
I opened it up, put the other one on it, just soldered it right up, and it was good. Unsoldered it, took the other one, soldered it back up, and it was bad. So I put it back in the package of the one that was extra, sent it back to 533, and they sent me another one. No problems. No questions asked. Just, hey, yep. Sometimes, you know, I don't care what kind of car it is, what kind of quad it is. Sometimes you're just going to get a bad one. So,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, in gratitude for 5,000 subs, and thank you guys for all that you've done. You know, and there's going to be a racers giveaway, and there may even be a race coordinators giveaway. I don't know. I've got some stuff that I don't use anymore as a race coordinator, and you know, I know there's some of you out there that's running races and wanting to learn to run races and all of that, and so I want to give back. I don't have a lot of money. And also, while I'm talking about me, thank you, Johnny. While I'm talking about me, uh, well, Pastor, that's all you do. Well, it's my channel. But not tonight. It's not all about me. I'm kind of proud of these. These are my little, what are you doing? What are you doing? Here, come on, follow me. There we go. The link kind of got crazy. This is what's called a mic flag. Put it around the microphone, and still got some work to do on this one as far as I changed it, and it didn't change for the better. But yeah, I've got a red Sharpie. I'll fix that. Nobody will be able to tell over the camera. So, well, I was going to tell you guys something else about me. Oh, yeah. Here. I'm working on this. Those of you that watched last Friday night or last Thursday night, you saw this. You saw me wearing it. This is the HDzero Gox Boggles Pro Plus, meaning it's got the Wi-Fi and all that fancy schmancy stuff on it. I had to, because these glasses, those of you that watched last week, these glasses, they go out a little bit further than most people's glasses. So I picked these up at Walmart. My prescription is 4.25 in this eye. It's amazing that I can even fly DJI. And 3.5 in this eye. But these are a lot thinner. Look how big my eyes are. It looks freaky, doesn't it? But I was able to put these on and put them underneath the goggles. You saw that last week. But what I did is I've ordered the diopters from HDzero, and as soon as they're custom diopters, so they're going to take a little while. And you know, there's a lot already out there on the goggles, so I wanted to do a video on it that's for me. So in saying that, now I want to preface this. Please only serious inquiries about it. I am in the process of talking to people about being an editor for me. I think for the channel to continue to grow and for me to continue to get merchandise to review and all, and still stay a full-time pastor, I'm going to have an editor. So I'm looking for an editor that's willing to grow with the channel. You know, it might not start out, just depends on how things go. It might not start out as being compensated monetarily, but I've got lots of quads and lots of stuff that I'm not ever going to fly all of it or use all of it. So at first we may just do some trade outs for some things. And, or if I do a review on something and you do the editing for it, when it's done, I'll just send you the product or something like that. If but I am looking for someone who is serious about being an editor. I do know that I have to curb some of my what's the word am I looking for? Skip said OCD when I was telling him about it. But yeah, the video that I did for the Mobula 7s, 55 gig worth of data, and that's just probably way too much. So, what's your opinion on?
We got a question in the chat.
Yeah, what's the opinion on the Sky dongle and battery cord at 533 Skip?
Okay, so I'm kind of mixed about it because if you really take care of your things and you're really particular on stuff, I would say it's a good option for HDzero. But if you're like me and you're a little rough on your stuff and you have stuff that goes bad, like I'm rough on my drones, I'm rough on my gear. I just got so much stuff. I don't really throw stuff around, but I mean, I move my stuff a lot. And the Sky dongle for me was not a good option. I'd rather have a 3S battery going straight to my HDzero goggles. And the reason why is when I used the Sky dongle, I guess I damaged it in some way, and it was giving me voltage spikes through my goggle, and it killed my goggles. So it killed my HDzero goggle, and that's a big thing for me because that's very expensive to replace.
Yep.
Although HDzero will replace the chips if you ask them to, but no, I see my goggles. The picture of it was like flashing in and out, and only thing I can bring the cause to was voltage spikes through the Sky dongle going to the HDzero. So that's my opinion on it. If you're really good at taking care of your stuff and you know what to look for when stuff is going out, which is like a voltage spike or something like that, then I would say
Are you talking
you can
about the
use it.
SIP
Just
dongle?
be wary of that little warning. But if you really want uh, the best option, I would believe is just use a 3S battery.
Yeah, I looked at that wrong. Thought it was a typo. I guess it's the SIC dongle. Now I
Yeah,
can tell you guys something.
yeah, the sick dongle. Yeah, I called it the Sky dongle. It's the red, white, blue cord with the black.
I think you did that because
Black.
that's how I read it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's the red, white, blue cord with the converter, the battery converter that converts the voltage to your HDzero goggles. Yeah,
yep,
that's what killed mine. Killed my goggles. So, but like I said, I'm not the best at keeping stuff uh, in the best condition. So, if you are, then they might work well for you, but they didn't work well for me, and it cost me a pair of HDzero goggles.
yeah, and I can tell you something that I've learned in the research on the Box Goggles Pro, um, and I got confirmation of this. Your standard HDzero cord. I've heard a lot of people ask and I've seen the debate go back and forth on whether with this, if you should use this with a 6S battery in your HDzero goggles. I've heard a lot of people say, yep, yes you can, I've done it for months and there's not a problem. Well, here's what I've learned so far, and Ryan, Carl, anybody that's wiser in this than me, feel free to correct me. My understanding is, and I've had some confirmation with it, is it is okay to run 6S only at regular charge, not high voltage charge. Charge each cell to 4.2. If you're 4.25, that could be enough that when you plug the battery in, if you plug this barrel in and your HDzero goggle switch is on, you can fry it. You can burn your board up in it, and it even says it clearly in the manual, which is in a what I looked at was in a draft state. The box goggles will run on 6S, but you need to have it charged only to 4.20 per cell, and anything above that you are risking burning the goggles up. Now, I also understand that the goggles has got some kind of a polarity breaker or something like that in it. That's some kind of mechanical fuse inside of it that it can trip, and then it takes it like 5 minutes to reset so you can plug it up. But here's my advice. If you're going to pay even $299 for a set of goggles, that's the cheapest ones from that's HDzero made that you're going to get. Invest in a 3S battery that's big. Or here's the other thing that I do sometimes, and this is an old battery. I don't know if you guys remember these. This is an old...
I have a sick dongle in my passenger seat. I use it for all my USB-C needs lol. Charged my watch on the way to work this morning. I hook it up to a 6000 mAh 6 cell.
Okay. I'll put that up there for those, for Skip. This is just a Pyrodrone 1150 5S. That's safe. You know, if you want to run for a long time, you know, I usually can run just about a full race on one of these. That's 4S. Sometimes I'll use the 3S with the little scale thing on the side of it. But here's my thinking. I know some of you have just got a ton of 6S batteries laying around and all, but why jeopardize a $300 to $600 or $700 set of goggles over a battery? You know, I just don't think it. To me, it doesn't make sense. Phil said he has a sick dongle in the passenger seat. You know, at first I thought it was one of Phil's jokes that maybe his dog was sick and he was taking it to the vet or something. He says it's for all of his USB-C needs. Charges his watch on it on the way to work. Hooks it up to a 6,000 milliamp 6L battery. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know how that works, but you know, I do have some experience with the one that Bardwell had. I bought a couple of these over the years. I had one do me kind of like Skip's, but it didn't burn the goggles up. It was when I had the HDzero VRX on my HDO2 goggles, and it kind of had that double prong lead that went on it.
I use a 5200 mAh lithium-ion 4S pack for my goggles.
He says he uses a 5200 milliamp lithium ion 4S pack for his goggles. Yeah, I've got one. This is a 26, but I got a 48 and that a 3S that I normally use. But yeah, what was I saying? I had one do that where it would just blink out, and the yellow part on it, or the black part right in here. I think one of them was, I don't remember. It wasn't. I bought it and the Bardwell at the same time. Well, this was getting real hot. This area right above your yellow, it was getting real hot because I had it in my pocket, and it would just blink out like that. Luckily, it didn't fry my HDO2s or the module. So I saw that. I tried the Bardwell, and I didn't like it because it just, it just didn't give enough voltage, I felt like, for the HDzero goggles. And I sold it to Z King, who's going to be on probably here in a little bit. And we were at a race together, and he had it plugged up, and it didn't catch on fire, but it started melting and smoking and all of that with a 6S hooked into it. So just for me, it's really not worth the gamble on a set of goggles to plug in a 6S battery. This hobby is subjective. You do it the way that you like to do it. I always say you do you. You fly what you got and all that kind of stuff, but you're listening to my channel, and I think Skip would agree with me, right? Tonight's just not about me. It's about the prop bros, and Phil's been around for a while. He uses the SICK cable, but when it comes to his goggles, he uses a lithium ion pack. So
Yeah.
4S.
I use a 3S. I use a 3S 2200 mile.
Yep.
That's what I use.
That's
and
very.
I was told that by Kevin Turner. So
there you go. Is it very similar to that one, or is it a?
Yeah, like that one right there.
Yep. And
I was told that by Kevin Turner, and he's been doing it way longer than anybody that I know.
And you can fly just about all day. While this is out for charging, this is one of the packs that I use in my fully auto AR-15 BB gun, which it is on my channel. YouTube doesn't like. It's been totally demonetized, but they haven't made me remove it. It is on my channel. You can go back and look at it. It's very cool.
Yeah, Kevin Turner, which is Evan Turner's dad, at 533. Kevin Turner has been in it so long, he was making drones out of sticks. Like literally wood square sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. With the old multi-Wii that they literally took out of a Wii controller. They are 3 to 7 inch and 1 3.5 prop size GEP RC brand. I'm missing out. How does one become a member? Am I missing something here? Scott, I think I might have missed something in here. Was there a post or a question before that? I don't see it, if there is. Yeah. Demands his early bedtime. There are 3 to 7 inch and one's 3.5 inch prop size GEP RC brand. Okay. I don't know what you mean, brother. Sorry about that. So, all right. I've ran my pie hole for a while. Do you have something you want to talk about, Skip?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of glad you are a little bit long-winded because I'm a very good. I'm building Z King a couple of drones, and but yeah, I'm trying to think of any news that I've heard of come out. I heard any problems with the O4 units, and we've been dealing with them for a little while now. Uh, oh yeah, the new HDzero goggles have come out. Did you do a review on that?
I'm working on it. I'm waiting till I get I've ordered the diopters. The
Okay, so
the
maybe I should talk about that.
well, you can. Everybody else's video's already out. I got mine late. I'm gonna do more of the backpack features of it, the
Okay.
Wi-Fi stuff, and what is what is
Well, I'm sure everybody knows by now, but if you don't, HDzero has a new goggle out, and they're really good for a budget option. And I wouldn't say that if they weren't,
yeah.
because I actually flew with them, and I've had them on my head and everything, and uh, and I think that if you're looking at getting into the hobby, or if you're looking at pulling that HDzero trigger, then that's the way to go, because I don't think they're going to lose their value,
Mm-mm.
because HDzero stuff holds their value pretty well from what
Yep.
I've seen,
Yep.
and so just trying them out is not going to, just spending the money and trying them out. I don't think it's going to mess with your pocket any if you don't like them, because somebody will buy them from you.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got analog already installed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have analog or analog drone, then I mean, you don't even need a HDzero unit right off the bat.
Right.
And that's how it was. Whenever I bought my first HDzero goggles, I didn't have any HDzero units at all. All I had was analog. And I always used the Ghost Duo boards and the Fusion, or the
Wanting on
Fusion,
third
or whatever you call
75
it.
Pro drone and
Those
supplies.
boards, which the HDzero, I'm sorry, the Ghost Duo board is a Ghost receiver and analog transmitter. Oh, there you go. And the Fusion board is LRS and a analog transmitter.
Yeah.
So that's what I started with whenever I had my HDzero goggles.
Yeah.
And Pastor is pointing that he can't wear these goggles and have his headphones on at the same time.
I can't. Hang on a
So,
second. I'm
so
going to
they
model
don't
them,
wear
but I'm going
headphones.
to be a deaf model. So
So we could talk about
they
Pastor
fit
right now, and he can't hear a word we're
good.
saying. They look good
Now,
on him.
let's see. I could probably do this now, but then I can't
There
take
you
them back
go.
off. I can't take them back off though. Uh, the thing is these glasses are too wide, but the other I could get a script of just a little thinner glasses. I think you said that was it Carter or somebody at 533 was able to wear their glasses under them,
Yeah,
and
Carter was actually able to, and he said and Carter's not able to wear his glasses with most uh, box goggles. So some people that have a little trouble with other box goggles, you may not have trouble, but uh, I believe Pastor still has trouble wearing uh, his.
well, with my glasses, with these glasses here,
Yeah.
it goes on just fine.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually I'm not spoiling my review because my review's not as much about the optics. If you just watch online, the optics are good.
Yeah.
The optic is really good.
Yeah.
But these right here are the best well, I don't want to say the only, because the old Quantum Pros, I was able to see through them. But these right here are the best modern box goggle, way far that I've ever tried.
Yeah, and I mean they are a box goal. They look, some people think they look dorky or whatever, but I hate
Just
to
put you
tell you,
some. Just put
anybody
you,
wearing a goggle at all, they look kind of weird to anybody. So
well, I
it
mean,
doesn't really
this
look.
is why we need 533 to come out with a good, interesting skin to put
We
on
are
these.
doing it.
All right,
We're
maybe like some angry eyes or something. If you're, you
we are
know,
coming out with a
there's
cool
somebody that's like,
skin.
is that a drone? And you can just turn around with a set of angry eyes at them, or have a big. Who is it? Eric Toft. Is that
Yeah,
is it him? He's got a big set
good boy.
of googly eyes on his, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, to each their own. I think it's hilarious. It looks great on his, but yeah, and 533, you just heard it from the man, or one of the men themselves from 533, that they're working on stickers. I have the Nintendo ones on mine, on my, not on my box goggles, on my HDzero goggles. But I didn't. They were not sent to me for free. I did get a discount, Carl. That's kind of how Carl and I work, and that's between Carl and I. But I bought them to do a fair review as someone who never has a good experience with box goggles. Watch last Thursday night. I need to update the thumbnail and say what it is. And you can see me flying around in them. I didn't share the screen and all of that kind of stuff because I was outside. Last Thursday.
Buddahblack.
Hey, Buddha. How's it? Buddha Black. How's it going, brother? But last Thursday night was as much about testing the Starlink just out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, of course, we were at the church, but I had turned off all of the other Wi-Fis, and so we didn't have anything but Starlink. And the whole stream from last Thursday night was really about testing Starlink. And Skip, that worked. It worked flawless.
Nice.
I was getting at least 150 gig up, and about that, probably about 80 down, and switch that 150 down, 80 up, and really you only need about 20 up to be able to stream, unless you're just doing crazy high streams. So we'll be able to take that anywhere. Have you tried the Box Pros on analog? How did it do? I did briefly. I'm not much of an analog guy, but it. I can. What I did briefly is I have the. Oh, come on. The Team Black Sheep. What's the module for it called? The TBS module on the side of my. I can't think.
Fusion.
Yeah, the Fusion. Thank you. The Fusion was on the side of my HDzero goggles, which they're better. The HDzero goggles are better than just about any other analog goggle because they do de-interlacing. And I compared it to the Fusion, and of course I was just flying around local out here around the yard. Wasn't going far, but to me it looked better. The very same quad, in my opinion, with those glasses that are not my accurate script. it looked better. So, I mean, it wasn't DJI 4 better, but it was
Right.
way better. And what I want to do is I want to take my I have a set of HD. I think my HDO2s have the not rapid fire, but the wildfire. And so I want to try all three of them: the HDO2s, the HDzeros, original goggles, and the box goggles on analog. And the module, because I've got the module, the 4-in-1 module, and I want to see how it all how it all does. Yeah, Elon knows his stuff. Yeah, hey, it just works, man. It just works, and it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but before, if you wanted to go live stream out in the middle of a field, you would have to do some kind of finagling with your 5G or whatever. I can be where there ain't even no cell phone signal. It showed me the map of where I could use mine because I got it in the regional Rome, which is North America, and yeah, it's like 90% of the country. It looked a lot like the electoral map from this past election. Only a few places where you don't have the coverage. So, but okay, I interrupted you again, Skip. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, you interrupt me. You're fine. I am having a hard time getting this switchback together.
Thank you, Scott, on the 3 7-inch frames and 1 3.5-inch Gep RC brand frames that he's going to donate, I guess, to the channel, donate to the giveaways and all of that. So, yeah, there's this is the time. This is the time to be, Team PhatWhoop. Let me see here. I had to update my boom. Team PhatWhoop. Race HDzero. I had to update my link, and I've not finished setting up the presets yet. So, yep, that's it. It's a good time to be a PhatPastor fan and Prop Bros fan. What you working on now, Skip?
I am working on a Switchback Zero, which has been discontinued because they are so hard to put together. But they're the only, one of the only 533 frames that holds a 30 by 30 stack. And also, one of the only, or one of the lightest frames to hold a 30 by 30 stack. I think they still have parts for them and stuff. So it ain't like you can't buy the parts and build one. They just don't sell all of them in one pack anymore.
Yeah. Now, I have a question for people, and I'd like for you to put it in the comment. Even if you're watching after the live stream, I would like to know people's comments. And if you haven't experienced this, just say haven't experienced it, and you can try it for yourself. Have you experienced this phenomenon yet, Skip, in the FPV world?
What's that?
This right here.
What are you talking about?
It's the Pyro Drone car air freshener.
Oh no.
Yeah, when you order, at least when I did, uh, I've gotten two, and they were both the same scent. Uh, has anybody experienced these besides me? For
Have
one,
no.
if you have, let me know, and let me know what you think it smells like. You know,
What do you think it smells like?
I'm gonna hold my comments till the end, closer to the end. Y'all remind me if I see people haven't seen one of
Yeah.
those, and I don't know. It may be something. I saw it for sale on their site. I think a while back, and it may be something that Surge just sent me or something. I don't know that they're sending them out for free, but I think they were. And the idea, I like the idea. I'll say that much. I like the idea of it because it's something I don't need. I don't know about y'all. If you need battery straps, let me know. I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. I have enough battery straps. I just reached and grabbed just a small handful. I have enough battery straps no joke, I'm not exaggerating at all here, that I could skip to the basketball goal at the gym that we race at, and still have enough straps to give everybody at the race one, maybe two. I bet I have 200. So in the giveaways, I'm gonna be throwing battery straps in there, and
Right.
so I mean I've just got a ton of them. Thank you,
That's
Scott.
sweet.
You have a good night, brother. I appreciate your support here of the channel and your friendship. Hopefully, we can meet up together sometime this summer and actually get some flying in.
Have a
Th-
good one, Scott. Nice
uh,
to see you.
those of you that may not know, Scott photographed a he has a very nice picture that he took of a cardinal I don't know if it's albino or what. He tells me about it, and he's given me copies of it. And these prints sell for quite a bit of money because it's very rare. It was a snowstorm a couple years ago, and he just happened to catch it out on a limb in his backyard, a red cardinal. So just look up albino or white cardinal, not a red cardinal, a white cardinal, and it's probably his picture that you'll see it. So he's a photographer, and he's got many different kinds of DJI, but he also likes FPV also. So, and he has good taste in vehicles. So, of course, that's subjective. You may argue about it. Has nobody experienced the Pyrodrone car air freshener?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Been looking up the skies here lately on YouTube,
Okay.
and there's been some really crazy stuff out here lately. But I mean, it's at the point to where you know it's either like uh, it's either you got a really good capture of something or it's AI,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so hard to tell what is real and what's fake anymore.
Yeah. Have you seen the stuff about the supposed um, stuff under the pyramids at Giza?
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
now I can say this. I'm not going to name any names because this was several years ago, and I'm not counseling with the guy anymore. But it was counseling with a guy online, and he told me this is probably 7-8 years ago now. I could look it up and give you the dates, but he had come to me and shared that he tried to share with his pastor in his church that he had been abducted by aliens, and everybody laughed at him. And I listened to him. I've not been abducted or anything like that myself. I can't. But after talking with people, I believe they believe something happened. And in one of his regression sessions, I wrote it down. He said that he was taken to a big room in a city under the pyramids of Giza. And he told me this 7-8 years ago, and I was like, okay, because you hear people saying, he also said that there's bases on the dark side of the moon, and large underground bases and large underground tunnels all under the United States. High-speed tunnels linking New York and Los Angeles and stuff like that. This is just stuff that he claimed. I just listened and, tried to help him. I think I did. But, when that stuff come out, Skip, that how he described it, he said that he knew that it was over 2 miles under the ground. And,
Oh, wow.
And they're saying that it's 3 kilometers, that the shafts are 3 kilometers deep. And
there's supposed to be some new technology too, like something we haven't used very much.
Yeah.
Because sonar and lidar and all that, they work, but they're not deep penetrating.
Yeah. I don't really know what this is. The latest. I get sent stuff. I don't watch the news, so the lamestream media. You might like them. I don't. If any of the mainstream media was to come out and tell me something, including Fox, I'm immediately going to be skeptical of it. So that's just the way that I am. But people send me stuff all the time. I counsel with quite a few people. That's one of the things that this channel has afforded me. It's given me the opportunity to meet people, them to see my face, and which after you see this and you still want to talk to me, you've at least got some, grit. But it's given me the opportunity and the privilege to counsel with and talk with people all over the globe, from Canada, England, France. I'm trying to think of some obscure ones. Guatemala. Philippines. I mean, it's just all over the country. Australia, and as one of my friends calls it, gay North Dakota. You didn't hear that, did you, Skip?
You said you said something about North Dakota. I think I heard what you said, but
as one of my friends calls another place, gay North Dakota.
okay, I heard.
Our president would call it the 51st state. I'm joking. We would have to split it up into more than one state. It would have to be like the 51st through the 55th. I'm joking. Still waiting for a close encounter of the third kind. Do you know what that means? You know the difference between the encounters of that would be called CE3. I had to do some research with this stuff. I mean, when you got people sitting and telling you CE1, close encounter of the first kind is you see it. You just see something in the sky. A close encounter of the second kind is you see something landing and beings. Close encounter of the third kind is where you interact with the beings. CE4 is close encounter of the fourth kind. It's where they take you, where abduction happens. Either they take you willfully or not. And now there's CE5 out there that supposedly people are saying they're able to communicate with them telepathically or spiritually. It was Hubble, the guy that they made the Hubble Space Telescope from. And I'm just going to say this. I don't say it a whole lot. Don't do this stuff a whole lot on my channel. But the man that they named the Hubble Space Telescope after says, on his deathbed, he said, as we have scaled the mountain of science and technology, he says, we have reached a plateau that the clergy have been at for thousands of years. So take that for however you want to. You can throw it in file 13 or laugh it off like other things, but hey, I'm entitled to my opinion just like anybody else is. Not forcing it on anyone. So, yeah, close encounter of the third kind would be that you have interaction with biologics, as they would call it in the at the hearings in Congress. They refer to them whistleblowers. The whistleblowers refer to them as biologics, non-human biologics.
So, have you had any of the kind at all?
Me?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of UFOs. Now, they don't call them UFOs anymore. That's what they called them. Yeah. And I mean that in the very clearest sense. I've had a couple of instances where I encountered an unidentified flying object. Something that was flying that I didn't know what it was. So that's it. Nothing close up. Nothing that I can definitively say for sure that it was an alien, like Raymond Guerrera says. I can tell you that I have had lots of interaction with aliens. Just not aliens of this world.
You mean aliens?
Yeah.
Not aliens of another world, you mean?
Not aliens to this world. Yeah. Which I can say that I've had more experiences, and I don't want to get into it tonight. And if you guys want, I've been thinking about doing some possibly some members live streams. That's just
Space alien.
Yeah. Hello, Interspace Alien. We actually have. He says, "I'm here." LOL. Yeah, we are talking about you. I am debating, and tell me what you think about this. I'll do it if there's enough people interested in it on a member stream, because I want it to be closed. I don't want it to be open to the whole world. But I can tell you, I am convinced that I have had interactions with at dead least hybrid humans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that they weren't not completely human. 100%. I had one in the parking lot of our church, a confrontation with a female, and her skin color changed right in front of me and one of my deacons and one of my deacons' wives. Just boom, right there. She was a black girl. No, she was a black girl when she got out, and she was talking, and she was wanting me. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. If you want more of this kind of stuff, let me know. I can talk more about this kind of stuff in a membership style live stream. But she was wanting me to do something, and that required me to touch her. And of course, every internal alarm as soon as she got out and started talking to me. She just got out and was asking for gas money, which is not unusual at all. And immediately red flags just boom, 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 start going up. One of my deacon's wives, close friend of mine, that whole family is, she come up and immediately didn't feel good and was like, "What's going on with you?" And this young lady just wanted me to touch her, and I was like, "I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you what's not nothing sexual, nothing like that. I'm not going to get into what it was all about. If you want me to make a video on it for the members, I can do that."
Color? What color?
Oh, she went from a black girl to like mixed to Sudanese to Asian. Not Asian, but Middle Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Because I was making notes of it. I was watching as things, and I was keeping my distance because she kept wanting to push in on me. And I was like, you stop right there. That's enough. And so, yep. And eye color changed. What about reptilians? Yeah, well, I don't know. I know that I've had some encounters that there was no way. No.
I'm not a member, but like to in on that.
Yeah.
I think if we're going to know, it's going to be soon. Like if there is like different races or different types and stuff like that, that there will be something very soon. Whether it's true or not, there will be something, I think, very soon.
Yeah.
And it's because there's a lot.
I can tell you that my first encounter with something that I know could not be completely human was years ago.
Yeah.
Before COVID. And, I counsel with people. It's kind of like this channel. I don't force my spiritual beliefs. I am a pastor. I don't force my spiritual beliefs on anybody. I listen to everybody, and everybody matters. Everybody. I don't care who you are and what you've done, whatever. You matter. And you deserve to at least be heard. Now, there's some people that, are clinically dangerous. Sociopaths, psychopaths. If you're counseling, you have to know what to look for. And when you encounter something like that, a one-on-one counseling session, even if it's over the computer, that has to stop. Because, some people they'll just find you and kill you. But,
well, Pastor, you are technically in Kentucky.
No, I'm solely in Tennessee right now. But
okay, well, your church is technically in
it's
Kentucky.
fully in Kentucky, yes.
Okay.
My church is further in Kentucky than I am into Tennessee. My church is about 3 miles, and I'm less than 1 mile from the line.
I've been to Kentucky quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some strange looking people in the Walmarts in Kentucky. Well, there are strange people in Walmart, period. But
Nationwide. Touche.
in Kentucky, it's they have a little special, a little bit more special.
Yeah. Well, y'all know I've told y'all, uh, and it don't always have to be about drones, right? It can be just about being sharing with one another.
Oh yeah.
V, the TV show with you needed your space there, Raymond, but I'll say it for you. V, the TV show with the reptilians, yeah. But I've told y'all several times, Deep Dives member stream when. Yeah, we can do it, brother. I might do it here in a couple of weeks or something, and actually do my members giveaway on that. Let people join because it will be a good month. I'm telling you again, the next 30 days you will want to be a member of this channel. $2 is all it's going to cost you, and and you can cancel after this month. I can't gift memberships. I know on other channels some people gift memberships. I can't gift a membership to my own channel, and it just wouldn't be right.
Rain
Anyway,
Squad FPV.
Rain Squad, how's it going? I'm doing good. Rain. But I tell y'all, I've told you for a long time. Let me see this. Come to think of it, some of the strangest people I've encountered have been at Walmart.
Hey,
Yes.
one more thing on that, real quick. When I was a kid and I first went to Corbin, Kentucky, and I can't say anything. I got a lot of family in Kentucky. It was at a family reunion, so I can't really say anything.
Was you
But
looking for a girlfriend while you were there?
absolutely not.
Okay, I'll just check it because that.
And,
Go ahead.
but
Sorry.
we walked into a Walmart, and I seen this bibbed overall. I mean, huge guy, and he had no teeth, probably a mullet,
underscore FPV.
and with the hottest looking girl, and for me when I was a kid, so it was for me to see that guy with that girl, it was just like that does not match at all. I
No.
don't know what's
Yeah.
going on, but that definitely does not match.
Well, when I started pastoring in Kentucky, now I'm not recommending this, okay? Uh, and I'm not magnifying my flaws. They don't need any magnification. Uh, from the pulpit, I told this joke because when people get tense and uptight, if you're talking about uh, a serious or touchy subject, I will often use humor to break the ice. And I got up there in front of my church. At that time, I didn't realize there was two people in that church that were married to their first cousins and had children with them. And I made the comment. I said, I've heard here in Kentucky that there's not really family trees. It's just family vines. It splits out and then it comes right back together. And some people laughed and a few people was in the back going, and just, no. And
That's not a good sign.
yeah, well, I didn't stop. I said, I heard, is it true? This is how I told him. I said, is it true? I heard that the toothbrush, legitimately, that the toothbrush was invented in Kentucky. And they were like, no, I don't guess it is. Why? I said, well, if it had been invented anywhere else, they would have called it a teeth brush. Y'all only got that one. Well, that went over like a lead balloon. And for some, others loved it. And those that loved it are still there. Those that didn't either died or they left. And it's just what I am. I often say that they just passed a new. I say this: they just passed a new law in Kentucky, Skip. That if you get a divorce, After the divorce is final, they will still consider her your sister. Oh no.
It's awful.
I got a case of the can't help it. So, but
Yeah,
you know,
I just hope if they either left or died, they died from natural causes, not because somebody
uh,
took care of them or something.
all of the ones that died while they were still active members of the church. So
If this don't help.
yeah, they were all old. Every one of them was in their 80s that died. Well, except for one young man, he was shot. Special needs, horrible.
Oh gosh.
He was shot in the back by his friend. They were playing with a. He was like 17. They were playing with a 22, and it ricocheted off of pavement and struck him in the spine, right between his shoulder blades. And he lived about 5 days in the hospital, and that got him. But all the rest of them were. We'll talk about something else.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
now it's time for a good joke, right? After getting everybody down, you know, uh, that's too good. Yeah, yeah. What is?
I haven't had any of them. Yeah, I've seen some crazy looking. I had my uncle one time uh, sitting across from me. He's always wore dark glasses,
Mm-hmm.
or in a picture, he's always smiled like with squinty eyes, and he never has looked at me with like a serious open eye uh, and me notice. And I noticed it one day, and he had cat eyes.
No way.
Like literally, his pupils looked like cat eyes. And I was like, I, I ain't trying to, intrigue or intrude or anything, but uh, what's up with your eye? And he's like, what do you mean? What are you saying? What do you mean? And I was like, your eyes are like slits. They're like cat eyes. Why's your eyes like that? And he's always been the type to mess with you and everything. And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, well, have you ever heard of reptilians? And
What did he
he's like,
do?
no, what's that? I'm let me know. And I was like, oh, it ain't nothing. And he's like, I'm just messing with you. He was born with double pupils.
Double pupils. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I've heard of that and seen that before too. And
but
in a dark room, it'll make them look like cat eyes.
oh
But
yeah, they
outside, you can clearly see the two people. Yeah,
yeah.
yep, yep. I've encountered that. I've encountered that. Yeah, you guys let me know, you know, in the chats or on Discord. You can private message me. Our Discord is free. You do not have to. Um, it's not behind a paywall. Yes, there is parts of it that are you won't see them unless you're a member. I have had people say, "Well, you've said that the Discord is free, and when I become a member, I noticed that there's certain parts of the Discord that's locked." Well, that's locked unless you're a member, and that's just a place that we can go on and share. Because I release when if I get something that's under embargo or NDA, I don't release it before then, but before I release it to everybody else, I can give. Yeah, they wanted to see what you were building. What was it again? The Ethan
Okay, so
1715 says he wants to see what you're building. Skip.
first off, I'm building multiple drones at the same time, getting as much done as I can possibly. This one right here is a freestyle drone. I forgot what he called it. but it's definitely like a bando style freestyle drone, and it's going to have the O4 unit in it, and it's the this drone right here. It has the most locking I've ever seen any arm have. It has three locking with an overlap plate. And then it's got locking in the front and in the middle. So I don't think these arms will ever move, and they're real beefy. And I think it's built better than the tank by Rotor Riot. Uh, if I were to have a bando quad or make another bando quad, I think I'd go with this one. I wish Zeke was on. I'd ask him what the name of it is. Do you remember the name of his freestyle drone?
Whenever your mind went blank, it was contagious. Mine did too. No, Skip is
Yeah.
actually doing. He's not on the clock. He's doing these builds for Z King, a friend of ours. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then I also have a uh,
flip switch.
switchback zero that I'm building,
Say that again.
and
I talked on you. What was it?
I've got a switchback zero that I'm building, and what I'm doing is I'm taking the parts out of another drone, which is this is a Vandy style, and I'm going to be putting it into a switchback zero for a racer, and so I'm just I'm doing multiple things at the same time
Yeah.
and getting as much as I can done. Uh, that way, I like to get what I can get done right now, and then it'll all come together at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to agree with Bent Props. Skip's one of the best builders that he's. I have to say he is the best builder that I know. So yeah.
I
If you
appreciate
are new, I'm seeing some new faces here. Ethan, 1715, Interspace Alien, Rain Squad FPV. If you guys would, it doesn't cost you anything. If you would, if you like what you see here, at least hit the thumbs up for us. It's like it helps us out. It helps to push the content to other people. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you remotely like our candid, unscripted talks here, which sometimes there's no telling where they're going to end up. We may be real hard or real solid FPV one night, and we may get off into aliens and whatever. If you would consider hitting that subscribe button, that helps out too, and it'll should let you know whenever we are streaming. And hopefully this summer you're going to see some more stuff with Skip, myself, Philiblaster, and maybe even get some Johnny Five on here one night. And this is what Tuesday night is for. It's Prop Bros. One of the perks of membership again is that you can come on and you can be a video guest or just an audio guest. You can just jump in and talk with us. Y'all shouted me out. All right, yeah, a couple streams ago, yes. The Hawk attacked my Grinderino on the maiden flight. Yeah, man, I remember that. I hope people jumped over and give you some subs. I recommended them to do that. I hope they did.
So Ethan, so I used to be big in gaming, and War Thunder was a game that I played a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan's brother used to help me lead a squadron in War Thunder, and we played a lot of games together. And they his brother kind of took it over and stuff, but no, that's where I met Ethan was from his brother.
All right. Well, welcome to the channel. We're welcome. We're glad that you're here, whether you sub or like or not. You're always welcome. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. The Discord is this place where we'll get together after the streams sometimes, and we've not been on as much recently. We've both Skip and I have been really busy, but usually we're on 2-3 nights a week at least. Skip. on
Oh,
there, and other people are on there racing and talking. And um, if you really, 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 really want to know, my take on some of the things that I just talked about, and you don't have uh, money to be a member, um, don't let that stop you. You can hop on Discord and ask me at 10 o'clock at night. I don't normally get on until after about 9 o'clock because I am more than a full-time pastor. If I get away with a 40-hour week, then that is a very slow week for me. So, thank you. Thank you for the sub. See there, you didn't know you was going to get all of that showing up on the screen. Just thank you. Oh, and a member. See, you get that little star beside your name right there when you become a member. There you go, man. Thank you so much. It helps so much. I don't see a penny of the money. It all goes right back in. Actually, it goes into our 501c3, which the church is. It's a part of the 501c3, which is tax deductible. That way, if we ever need to make the property across the street from our church, which is a big field, a FRIA, we'll still be able to race. We'll still be able to do all of that stuff. And it's people like these guys here. Here's the list of the members. I'll need to get your name up. It'll take me a little while, Ethan, on that, because it's actually kind of cumbersome I had to redo the whole thing. So, but I'll get you on there. Thank you for that. You should have access. Message me on the Discord. The link's above. You should have access to members only parts of the Discord, but that is what I found that YouTube messes up the most. It will leave people on that are no longer members, and sometimes it doesn't even add them. But if you let me know, I can go in and manually add you. But I don't want to try to do it, and then, because if I do it and then YouTube tries to do it, YouTube will remove you. So, yeah, you can use it yourself if you're just hanging out with your buddies and you're wanting to show up some flight video or just chat in the middle of the night. The only thing we ask on is just to be respectful. We've only had to boot one person off of it, and he'd just get to what he totally wasted, wouldn't he, Skip?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
way, 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 way beyond what anybody should be doing. And so we had to ask him to stop, and he wouldn't do it. But only one person, and I've had this Discord for well before, I guess it was, I don't know to tell you how old it is. It was well before COVID. So only had one person we had to boot and ban. So welcome. Thank you again. Big thank you from everybody here for subscribing and becoming a member. It helps out a lot, and you will surely see the benefits coming up here in the next few weeks. When everybody else just gets one ticket, you'll get either 2 or 3 in giveaways. So that's just part of it. So, all right. Again, Skip, did you put your rings in your goggles? I mean, in your goggles, in your radio, your LED rings.
Yeah, the LED rings. Yeah.
Yeah. They just pretty much, you just take the back off and they pretty much plug in, right?
Yeah. So you take the back off, and I think it's just like a couple of screws takes the gimbal off, and then you plug them in and put the gimbal back on.
Yeah. And it pretty much will only go in one way with the notch from all that I've.
Yeah. It's not hard at all.
Yeah.
It does make the controller a whole lot easier to use because especially if you're a thumber. Because it pushes down puts the stick a little bit lower.
Oh, it makes them a little deeper. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, yeah. I may even have a radio, a nice radio. If I can find a way to get all of my airplanes that you see over my head here, they're on my TX16, my Radio Master TX16 with the touchscreen. I don't ever use it. if I could get it over to my 4-in-1, I've got a Boxer that's a 4-in-1 with the Express LRS module on the back.
Thanks for the sub.
All right. Inner Space Alien, thank you for the sub, man. Means a whole lot. Thank you very much. It truly does help. Yeah, all of these up here are Spectrum. Look at that glowing quad. I wonder if that will be in somebody's hands. That one right there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is crying that it would like to go to a new home somewhere. So hint, hint, those of you watching. But these planes, I don't know if you guys can see. Those of you that are new. Before I was into FPV, I've been an airplane pilot for 136 years. Not really. But all of those are Spectrum up there. I've got them all over the ceiling. There's my A10. If I go up too much more, you're going to be able. It's going to get interference with my face lights. So, but yeah, if I could, it seems like it. Actually, I started flying radio control in 1994. That's older than some of you are alive. But yeah, if I could get all of my airplanes, which are on my TX-16 that I don't fly very much, that I don't like as good as the Boxer. If I could get them over to the Boxer, I would give the TX-16 away also. I have 75 airplanes. There you go, man. There you go. You can't have too many, you know. So, yes. And you know what's cool is when you get. I want to do it with Skip because correct me. I had a head injury several years ago, guys. So there's days when my memory is just yeah, and today's one of them. Did you tell me several months ago that you haven't chased an airplane before, Skip, in FPV?
I don't think I have.
Okay, I'm wanting to get with Skip and get one of these trainers up here and teach him to, which he has flown a wing, an airplane before, fixed wing before, but yep. Raymond said 1970 when he started. That's older than I am alive, Raymond. So, you know, I was born in 1974, so Raymond gets the OG award. He's got it, you know.
The RC airplane has been out since the 70s.
Do you know who the first person was to invent radio control?
No.
Howard Hughes, Howard Hughes, if I remember it correctly, demonstrated it, and it was Thomas Edison that had come up with it, and it was at the 1940 something, 1930s, mighty mid 1920s World Fair. You can look that up. Bank and Yank, yes it is. Raymond says he's 62, so he started when he was a kid or a teenager probably.
That's
yep.
amazing.
Yep. I tried 3D printing a Titan Dynamics airplane. I stalled it after 2 minutes and nosedived into the ground. WPLA makes quite an explosion. I bet it does. Was it tail heavy? I bet it was a little bit tail heavy. Because if you got that many airplanes, you know, a plane that's nose heavy flies bad. A plane that's tail heavy doesn't fly long. And that's generally, if you're CG balancing an airplane and you don't know, you just can't get it to where it just balances perfect, err on the side that the nose will go down a little bit before the tail goes down. A tail heavy plane is a disaster waiting to happen. You can, if you're experienced, you can bring it in and you can land it But I've seen many of an exploding balsa plane from just simply being, yeah, yep, the old control line, Cox 45. Yeah, it was slightly nose heavy. Okay, wasn't flying it fast enough. Oh yeah, tip stalled on you. Yep, yep, that'll do it. Was it a mid wing, low wing, high wing? You know that I don't know if you saw it, but when I went, I when I went up to the A10 Warthog, that's that's the Horizon Hobbies one. It flies good, but you got to fly it every second. You know, it doesn't drift around and float around and play. It flies. You know, and that was one of the first things that my friend George, that you guys see on here sometimes. I haven't seen him on tonight. He usually drops a super chat. Um, he was the first time I successfully flew. Oh, look at that! Was on a buddy box with George.
I think people will show off their soldering on screen.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's shiny as somebody's head. High wing. The micro Talon V tail. Okay. Yeah, well, you had a little bit extra uh, forgiveness there with the high wing, but you know, ground and airplanes don't normally mix at all, unless wheels, landing gear, skids, floats, things like that do, but nose and tail section, wingtips, no.
Yeah, I got a 4-foot 3D printed airplane in a box over here. It's no longer 4 foot 3D printed. I mean, it's 3D printed, but it's no longer 4 foot.
I remember I had gotten a Thunder Tiger. Some of you old guys know what that is. I had gotten a Thunder Tiger low wing. It had a an OS Max 28, I believe it was. It was a rare engine. It was 25 scale airplane, and the thing would hang on its prop. It just you could torque roll it, and uh, my camera flashed at me, and I was flying at a flying field, and a cop car come by, and I don't know what he did or whatever, but I was in the process of doing a loop, and I was on the down leg of the loop when I lost all radio control, and it just kept going down, and it went down into the flying field, and I had to dig the motor. The motor was about 5 to 6 inches down in the ground. Needless to say, the boss, nothing but the electronics. It did end up stripping one of the servos, but all of the electronics were fine, and the motor ended up being fine after I took it completely apart and cleaned it. But the airframe was gone. It was nothing. Just a pile of sticks and monocoat.
Unlike drones, I'm not too sure. I mean, I checked the flaps and I checked everything to make sure they worked, but it was stuck in angle mode, which I don't need angle mode on an airplane. I need an airplane that controls.
Mm-hmm.
And because I can do airplane simulators and all that, but the whole let me help you thing for the airplane, I don't need none of that. And it was stuck in that.
Mm.
And it just went to a death roll or a
A
what do you
tip
call
stall. Tip stall.
it?
Boom.
Went to a roll, and it was stuck into a roll in that roll, and I watched it circle down till it hit a tree.
Oh, you probably had a servo that got stuck. It's kind of what that sounds like. But yeah, it all started with the balsa plane, red prop, and rubber bands. Yep, rubber band wing. Yep. Oh, you're talking about the ones in the package. Yes, I bought my nephews. Actually, if you go to IO, they sell those in the AMA museum. They sell those old balsa planes that we used to get, that you took the big red prop and you'd spin it till it had knots. All of the knots would go all the way up. And you take it and you throw it. You know, yep. They actually bought my great nephews. Two of them, and one of them stayed on the roof of the house for about 2 weeks until his grandpa got it down. Yeah. A Tombstone to nitro motor, about 8 inches in the grass. Fuse hit 15 seconds before the wings. Ow! I've seen that happen. Wing come off, or the wing spar snaps on the wings, and the wings are and you got the missile. You you got the Tomahawk cruise missile coming in. Yep. Balsa was soaked in nitro. Yeah, yeah. I actually seen a man. There was this guy. I'm not going to name his name because I know he flew in many other states than just Tennessee and Kentucky. He was an older black guy. I'm assuming he's probably dead by now because this was 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago. He had a F-4 Phantom, which is a fighter jet that was a ducted fan, and it was way underpowered. And he would come to we had a little paved runway, and there was a guardrail that was the flight line. The city had come out and put in a guardrail, metal highway guardrail. And me and my brother were flying together, and I had a little 1996, 95 Nissan hardbody, and we had the planes in the back of it. And we got there and we saw him, and we had already been warned about him. This guy was doing touch and goes with a plane that was probably at least 9 pounds. It was probably a 40 to 60 scale, and he would do a touch and go, and he'd barely get it back up off the ground. Well, we're there, and we waited for a little while and watched him. He successfully did touch and goes, but it was clearly underpowered. And we both get out, start to get our planes out, and he goes for a touch and go, and he slowed down a little too much, and it tip stalled, and it flew right into that guardrail at probably 45, 50 miles an hour, about 10 foot from my Jeep. And if that thing would have hit either one of us, as heavy as it was, and the point on the nose, something would have been broken, a broken bone at least. And about 2 years later, I was at a fly-in in Nashville, and he had moved up to a true turbine airplane, and he was out there, and I'm not going to say his name. They had a nickname for him. Old Willie. I'll say that's definitely not what his name was, but I was like, "There's Old Willie," and I told my brother. He's like, "Yeah, let's stay away from him," and was walking around it, and just about everybody there knew Old Willie. And me and my brother were down on the other end of the flying field, and all of a sudden there was this commotion, and everybody's running toward him, and we get up there, and they're trying to, his legs are on fire from his knees down. His legs are on fire, and they're trying to put it out, and with blankets and jackets and stuff like that. And it wasn't working. Finally, they called. Of course, the ambulance was on its way. They called the ambulance, and we could hear the ambulance coming, and somebody got a fire extinguisher out of their vehicle and was able to put his legs out. And what it was is he had a true turbine jet engine in an airplane. It was like a F-16 or F-18. I think it was an F-18 frame on it. And you have to pump the kerosene type fuel, the jet fuel, into the turbine. I mean, because it works you got to prime it while you're starting it. And it got a leak, and it caught on fire. And he tried to stomp it. And when he stomped it, it just blew jet fuel and kerosene up his blue jeans and set him on fire from his knees down. And he was burned up pretty good when they hauled him away. And that's the only serious injury I've ever seen in radio control. And I've seen some people cut their fingers up with props, messing with quads and stuff with props on them. So
I've done that myself. Don't ever, I don't care what anybody says, do not ever test motors in Betaflight with props on. I done it a bunch of times and never had a problem but one time, and that one time was terrible.
You know, I will do a TinyWhoop, but anything more than a TinyWhoop, I don't do it. You know, you would be surprised at what this right here would do to you spinning full props. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stitches. At least. You know, so yeah. Take your props off.
Well, Pastor, I am going to have to eat. I've been smelling food for about 30 minutes now.
All right. Well, I'm going to log off here. It's been a good one. Those are
That's as far as I got on the
yeah.
switchback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got my leads soldered in with my capacitor, and that's about it on it.
Yep.
But
And I don't know if he wants me to do this, but Skip builds, guys. He builds in his sleep. We were talking about it earlier. He's really good builder. When he has time and he's able to get stuff done for you, hit him up on Facebook. He's in this Facebook that's free for all of y'all to go in all of the time. Hit him up, and if he has time, he'll fix your stuff right for you, or tell you it can't be fixed. The reason? Yeah. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something. I was going to say something.
Yeah. You might not like the how much it costs, but it can be fixed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I was going to make a comment about a beeper.
Oh gosh.
But I'm not going to. A beeper that would not beep. I started flying
Was it this? Did the beeper look like this right here?
I think it did. I think it did. Bless their heart.
Yeah, sadly.
Inner Space Alien says, I started with a Cox Free Flight helicopter. Oh yeah. Yeah. Just kind of let it go. I think we called that the Prime, and was it Prime and Pray is what it was? Control line. I remember an old guy come out, he had his old control line. That's actually the first thing I flew. My cousin let me fly his when I was just a kid. But I remember we was out at that same field where the guy hit the guardrail, and there was an older man out there, and he's doing it in circles, got the control line. And he's like, wait, hey, as he's doing circles. And there was a concrete silo there, and the line just broke. Both of them. I don't know what happened. All of them. All of the lines that he had broke, and it just went right in the side of that concrete silo. It was done. Because, those are full speed. All right. All
right, guys. I'm going to leave it to Pastor.
I'll see you, Skip. I'm going to wrap up these comments here. Take care, brother.
All right. See you.
All right. There's always that one guy. It is, isn't it? Always that guy. Just make sure you're not that guy. I did it on my 2S 2-inch when I first started and cut my finger up pretty bad. Yeah, there's a guy that used to be on the channel here regularly. He actually got his racing name because he reached down to pick up a 5-inch and he had his radio on a lanyard. And I just told him, before, I don't know if it's a day or so before or what now, just told him to, hey man, when you're done, when you've disarmed, just push your throttle back up. Push it all the way back up before you reach down to grab your quad. And he didn't listen to me. And when he bent down, it armed and just the arming on the 5-inch was enough to it cut down his finger, took his fingernail off, and he showed it on the stream one night, go way back, and asked people what his race name should be, and everybody was like, "Oops, FPV. That's what you should call yourself." So, I hear Skip is never more than 6 foot from a soldering iron. You're probably right. You're probably right. Now, well, I won't talk about that. YouTube don't like me talking about that. I'm never further than 10 foot from something in my house. I don't know if you guys can tell what that is right there, but I'm never more than 10 foot from one of those. Okay, has only built like 10 quads for me. Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, Skip is good. Skip is good. He's built, I think, three or four for me. I like to build sometimes. I just don't have time anymore, guys. That's why again, here near the end of the stream, if you guys are interested or you know somebody that is able to edit videos, reviews, and stuff like that, I am looking for an editor that's willing to grow with the channel. So hit me up in Discord, private message, and we'll talk about it. I had an EXC explode once. A motor shorted to the frame, ruined my HDzero Freestyle 2, the whole stack and a motor. Fixed it all up, been great since. Yeah, Skip's the man, you know. That's why Evan and Mondo are no dummies. They've forgot more about FPV than most people know, and they knew what they were doing when they hired Skip and Carter, I would say also. Wild, but I pre-arm switch on all my quads. Yeah, that's really a good habit to get into. And if now of course a 3-inch will tear you up. A tiny trainer will tear you up. But I don't fly anything bigger than 3-inch anymore. I've got a 7-inch iNav and a 6-inch iNav. They may end up in the giveaway, or may end up as a consignment for somebody to edit a few videos for me or something like that. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So, yeah, want to thank everybody. I want to thank you for Ethan for the new membership and the new subs. Interspace, thank you for the subs, everybody, for all the comments, the likes, and once again, if you have not, please just take your anger out on that like button or the dislike. If you think, man, a kid come on the other night and said like, wow, that guy don't even have a neck, his chin just goes, yeah, there we go, I don't know how that got there, but his chin just goes straight down. And I was like, yeah, I've got more chins than the Chinese. The only reason why this is here is to delineate between between this chin and those. So, but yeah, if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. You can thumbs down me, or you can double thumb me and get fireworks. Wow, isn't that just amazing? So, yeah, I can build. So, but you know, sometimes I have been known a time or two that, you know, when I build to be like,
are you okay?
yeah, I'm fine. Oh, that was actually me and my wife in the early years. No, I was not Charlie Sheen. So, but yeah. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody. We're not going to belabor the stream tonight. We do have a stream, and there will be something given away, Lord willing. I do have a handicapped daughter, and there are times. There you go. Raymond likes to build. Get in on that build giveaway. There are times when, I have my mother that I have to help take care of. I have to help take care of my wife's parents sometimes, and I also have a handicapped daughter. So sometimes things come up. If you ever see that I've posted that there's going to be a live stream, I'm sorry, I don't know if that was loud or not, but I was cleaning off my microphone. Good night from Michigan. All right, brother. Good night from Middle Tennessee. Night all. But if you ever see a thumbnail and I'm not there, it's probably because something has come up. Also, I'm a pastor. If somebody has a car wreck or is dying or something and I have to go on an emergency, sometimes that kind of stuff just happens, and forgive me, but I am planning to give something away starting this Thursday night. So thank you guys, and remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, keep flying and rise up and meet me in the air. God bless.